بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Greetings and welcome. We are pleased to have you with us today at the introductory workshop and the launch of the 11th National Cyber Drill titled Zero Day Survival. The introductory workshop is divided into 4 sections. First, I will present an introduction to the workshop, highlighting some statistics from last year. Second, I will discuss cyber drills as an essential exercise for all of us, and we will focus on this year's edition. Third, I will present defense strategies against zero-day vulnerabilities, covering their definition, defense strategies, and more. Fourth, and finally, my colleague Noof will conclude by discussing the drill platform and the mandatory pre-drill exercise. Before we dive into the workshop topics, please note that there will be 2 checkpoints. The first checkpoint before the technical content, and the second one will be after the technical content. At the checkpoints, we will ask you to scan a QR code using your phone's camera and answer the questions anonymously. Throughout the workshop, you can communicate with the support team using WebEx chat box. The team will actively respond to your specific questions privately, while general questions will be addressed at the end of the workshop. To celebrate a decade of cyber drills, we made the 10th edition exceptional. We achieved great success in organizing the event from both logistical and technical aspects. This success marks the new start of an era for this pioneering national initiative. Discussing some statistics from last year's 10th edition titled Secure Your Data, for the first time, the number of participating entities exceeded 140, the biggest since the first drill in 2013. Additionally, after over 1,400 participants attended from technical and management groups, making it Qatar's largest cybersecurity event. At the Cyber Program Delivery Department, we consider the cyber drill a national project that we offer to entities. As with any product, it requires continuous improvement. So your evaluation and feedback are valuable to us. We review all your comments and ratings to make improvements for future drills. The last edition received an overall satisfaction rate of 94%, and I would like to share some key highlights from the survey results. Scenarios realism was 90%, satisfaction with the drill platform was 90%, support during the drill event was 94%, and the improvement in communication skills for entities was 92%. Lastly, the improvement in crisis response skills for entities was 90%. In this slide, we have selected some of your feedback comments. We thank you for these, which showcase the result of our dedicated efforts to deliver the event. We succeeded in making the 10th edition unique and the best ever compared to the previous 9 years. This represents our continued commitment to elevating the initiative and building on this legacy, which is delivered by a hardworking and dedicated team that I'm proud to lead. The drill execution process consists of 6 stages, including Stage 1, registration. Today we announced that the registration has been extended until the end of week for the entities that haven't registered yet, with the option for registered entities to increase their participation number if needed. Stage 2 is the introductory workshops happening right now. Stage 3 is the pre-drill exercise with 5% weight of the total score. Stage 4 is the drill execution from November 17th to November 28th. And the Stage 5 is the results analysis expected to be completed by March. And the final stage, Stage 6, is the award ceremony. The goal of the cyber drills includes strengthening national resilience, enhancing the readiness of entities, improving crisis response plans, activating internal communication and collaboration within entities during incidents and crises, measuring entities' response capabilities for both groups, technical and management, as well as testing the technical skills and incident response. When choosing the drill title, the drill committee bases its decision on information gathered from multiple resources, such as the technical consultancy team, previously known as the MPTO, alongside the agency's cyber intelligence unit and the selected agency experts. For the 11th edition, we have chosen the title Zero Day Survival, giving you a hint on the scenario that we have prepared for you. In addition to local entities who are considered key supporters of the drill's continuity each year, we have extended the targeted audience this year to include managed security service providers with a highly advanced scenario tailored to their significant role. Given the reliance of entities on these providers, which requires a complex and unique testing approach. And on regional level, for the first time, we're including GCC countries, as the third GCC drill is hosted by Qatar this year. Lastly, university students studying cybersecurity or computing-related studies who will participate in a Capture the Flag competition. For all participating groups, except students, we will continue last year's approach, dividing entities into technical and management groups, each with different goals and required roles, as outlined in the registered and as outlined in Eventbrite, the registration portal, as well as on this slide for your reference. We'd like to emphasize on the importance of registering participants with the relevant roles to reflect the most accurate results in your evaluation report. The drill day schedule will be as follows. Registration starts from 8 to 8:30. Then the technical exercise starts from 8:30 to 12 p.m. and then we will have a 1-hour break. After that, the management exercise will start from 1:15 to 4 p.m. The best practices that we recommend for this drill are as follows. Maintaining confidentiality, as a participating entities do not disclose your entity's name and use the code that will be provided to you later on. Complete the platform assessment before the drill day to familiarize your team with the platform, and we highly recommend arriving 30 minutes before the drill begins to find your table to check the workstations that we have provided to you. And lastly, follow the drill instructions displayed before the exercise begins on the drill day. Before presenting the zero-day defense strategies, I would like you to answer the pre-workshop assessment by scanning the QR code. You have a limited time to respond to the questions, where the answers will be revealed when the timer stops. I will leave you now for 4 minutes to do the assessment. The assessment link is also available in the chat box. Thank you for doing the pre-assessment. Today's presentation objectives are as follows: providing awareness of zero-day attacks, describing cloud services and zero-day attack correlation, defending from zero-day attacks by taking the right actions, and talking about real stories and concluding. What are zero-day vulnerabilities, exploits, and attacks? Zero-day vulnerabilities can be defined as a previously unknown security flaw in a software or a hardware or a firmware that has yet to be discovered by the vendor or developer. And this vulnerability has 0 days of exposure, meaning there has been no opportunity for the developer to address or patch it because of its unknown nature. Zero-day vulnerabilities are highly valuable to attackers as they provide a rare chance to exploit a system without resistance. Until the developer becomes aware of the flaw and releases a fix, systems remain vulnerable, making these types of security gaps particularly dangerous. Zero-day exploitation refers to the act of using a zero-day vulnerability to conduct an attack. In this process, cybercriminals or malicious actors identify the flaw and exploit it to achieve their objectives, such as unauthorized access, data theft, or system manipulation. Zero-day exploitation is often sophisticated and precise, allowing attackers to operate undetected since defenders are unaware of the flaw. This exploitation continues until a patch is released, but it can cause significant damage in the meantime. A zero-day attack occurs when attackers actively exploit a zero-day vulnerability to infiltrate a system, a network, or an application. Because the vulnerability is unpatched and often undiscovered, zero-day attacks are difficult to detect and defend against, which poses a severe threat to organizations. Such attacks may involve malware, ransomware, or other malicious code tailored to leverage the specific vulnerability, often resulting in data breaches, system downtime, or financial loss. Security teams are typically in reactive mode, scrambling to respond as the developer works to identify and mitigate the issue. Within the life cycle of zero-day attacks, there are 6 key steps. The process begins with vulnerability discovery, where a threat actor identifies a previously unknown security flaw. This leads to exploit development, during which the attacker creates a specific tool or code to exploit the discovered vulnerability. Following this, in the attack execution stage, the threat actor launches an attack using the exploit to gain unauthorized access or to gain control over the targeted system. Once inside, the attacker engages in post-attack actions, which may include stealing data, causing damage, or establishing a C2, command and control. The life cycle concludes with the disclosure and patching as the vulnerability is discovered by defenders or disclosed publicly, promoting the vendor to release a patch to address the vulnerability and to protect against further exploitation. This cycle underscores the urgent need for proactive and reactive defenses against zero-day threats. In recent years, we have seen a dramatic rise in the impact of zero-day attacks across various sectors. To start, back in 2021, 33% of zero-day attackers were financially motivated, with ransomware gangs leading the charge. Fast forward to 2023, and we observed a 56% growth in the zero-day attacks compared to the previous year, signaling an increasing threat. Moving into 2024, a significant challenge we face in the delay in detecting and patching zero-day vulnerabilities. In fact, 62% of exploited zero-day vulnerabilities took over 30 days, hopefully not 30 years, 30 days to detect and patch after they were publicly disclosed. This extended time frame leaves systems vulnerable and attackers with more time to exploit these flaws. Moreover, zero-day attacks have become a dominant force among exploited vulnerabilities. 53% of widely exploited vulnerabilities in 2023 and early 2024 were linked to zero-day attacks, emphasizing their role in the current threat landscape. These statistics highlight the urgency of addressing zero-day vulnerabilities with the proactive measures and the swift responses to minimize damage and reduce risks. Let's take a look at the rising trend of zero-day attacks. Over the past few years, which illustrates a growing challenge in cybersecurity. In 2020, there were 34 documented zero-day attacks. However, by 2021, that number had more than tripled, reaching 106 zero-day incidents, which is a significant jump that highlighted the increased attention of threat actors on previously unknown vulnerabilities. Moving into 2022, the number of zero-day attacks dropped slightly to 62, but this was still nearly double the figures from 2020, showing that the threat was not diminishing. Then in 2023, the zero-day attacks surged again, totaling 97 incidents. This resurgence demonstrates a trend of steady growth, which has continued into 2024 and is predicted to escalate even further in coming years. As zero-day attacks become more frequent and sophisticated, they pose an even greater risk to organizations worldwide. This trend underscores the critical need for proactive security measures and rapid response capabilities to mitigate the impacts of these serious threats. Let's briefly go over some common attack vectors that organizations face. These include social engineering, malware infections, ransomware, DDoS attacks, cryptocurrency mining, SQL injections, and advanced persistent threats. Each of these can exploit different vulnerabilities, targeting critical assets and operations. The impacts of these attacks can be severe. Organizations may suffer of financial loss, penalties, and brand damage, as well as reduction in share value and potential legal liabilities. Attacks can lead to reputational damage, loss of market share, and such as I just mentioned. In summary, the variety of attack methods and the range of potential impacts emphasize the importance of a strong, proactive cybersecurity strategy to protect both assets and reputation. It is essential for companies to apply zero-day protection strategies, and the benefits they bring to an organization are as follows. First, mitigation of undisclosed vulnerabilities. Zero-day defense strategies help organizations protect against security flaws that are still unknown to the vendor. Having a strong zero-day defense provides a critical layer of security against unforeseen threats. Second, safeguarding the critical assets. Zero-day protection strategies play a vital role in securing sensitive data by defending against these attacks. Companies can prevent unauthorized access, data theft, or data tampering with their most valuable information. Next, maintaining business continuity. The effective zero-day defenses help to prevent costly disruptions. They ensure that systems stay operational and that critical business processes are not interrupted by unexpected attacks, keeping the business running smoothly. And finally, building customer trust. Demonstrating a commitment to security by proactively defending against zero-day exploits can enhance customer confidence and strengthen trust with partners and stakeholders. In summary, applying zero-day protection strategies offers a powerful set of benefits, from mitigating unseen vulnerabilities to enhancing customer trust, making it a crucial component of any modern cybersecurity strategy. Now let's take a look at the shared responsibility model. It's an essential concept in cloud service usage. This model defines the division of accountability between the cloud provider, a cloud service provider, and consumer, making it clear who is responsible for what aspect of security and compliance. When it comes to safeguarding against zero-day attacks, a shared responsibility model is crucial, as these attacks require layered defenses across different domains. This model ensures that each party knows where their responsibilities begin. Now, some additional benefits from the shared responsibility model include enhanced collaboration, which clearly defines the roles. The cloud service providers and consumers can collaborate more effectively, streamlining their efforts and resolving issues effectively. Second, preparedness. By understanding their specific roles, both the cloud service provider and consumer are better prepared to respond to security threats when they arise. And third, accountability. The clear assignment of responsibilities helps each party to manage and mitigate risks more effectively, which reduces the chance of gaps in security. And fourth, the service level agreements. The model also supports continuous monitoring, tracking, and assessment of service levels, allowing companies to measure security, performance, and compliance against agreed standards. The shared responsibility model is not just assigning tasks, it's about fostering accountability, enhancing collaboration, and building a more secure, resilient cloud environment. Now we will have a short break, a 4-minute break. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. Now we'd like to continue the presentation, and starting with this slide, addressing zero-day vulnerabilities requires a coordinated approach, as mentioned earlier, between the cloud service provider and the client. Now, in continuation, at this slide, you will see 6 points that we assume that they are foundational aspects to defend against zero-day attacks. I'll give you a minute just to go through the point. Now, to effectively defend against zero-day attacks, it's essential to establish foundational practices that enhance security across all levels. First, we have governance structure, which is very critical. This defines the role and responsibilities for managing zero-day vulnerabilities, as well as decision-making mechanisms and policy settings. A well-structured governance framework ensures a clear accountability in handling zero-day threats. Next, we have the third-party governance, which plays a vital role as many zero-day vulnerabilities come through third-party vendors. So managing your external relationships is essential. And this involves ensuring that vendors meet strict security standards and establish communication channels for prompt updates about vulnerabilities that may impact us. Then we have risk identification and response, which is also as important as governance. Here we focus on how zero-day vulnerabilities are classified and risk assessments, and we outline specific response strategies to minimize exposure. Also, threat assessment then takes this further by quantifying and qualifying the potential impacts and the likelihood of a zero-day attack, which covers risks like data breaches, downtime, legal consequences. In addition, we have compliance. Legal and regulatory compliance builds our capability to capture, prioritize, and monitor necessary security standards. The compliance ensures that our security practices align with the latest laws and regulations. Moreover, audit and review processes are also essential. Regular audits help identify gaps in our defenses, ensuring adherence to security policies and standards, and proactively addressing the potential weaknesses. Also, we have security awareness and training, empowering employees, training them, make them equipped with recognition and the ability to respond to potential zero-day threats, which significantly reduces the risk of exploitation. And finally, performance monitoring, which helps measure the effectiveness of our cybersecurity program and drive continual improvement, which ensures our defenses remain robust over time. And together, these foundational aspects form a solid framework to mitigate zero-day threats, ensuring that we are prepared to respond to these unpredictable and high-stakes risks. Now, to build strong defenses against zero-day attacks, organizations can rely on standards and frameworks from several leading bodies such as the ISO, NIST, COBIT, and CIS. To effectively prevent zero-day attacks, organizations must take proactive measures and must apply innovative strategies that strengthen cybersecurity resilience. So let's explore together some of these key approaches. First, we have sandboxing by isolating and testing untrusted applications and code in a controlled environment. Sandboxing helps to prevent potential zero-day exploits from impacting production systems. Second, we have the principle of least privilege. Enforcing this principle limits the user access strictly to what's necessary to their role only, minimizing the impact of a zero-day exploit from occurring. Then we have vendor security requirements, defining clear security requirements in contracts with third-party vendors ensures that they meet industry best practices, which reduces the risk of vulnerabilities through external partners. In addition, we have application security training. Training developers on secure coding equips them to identify and mitigate vulnerabilities early in the development process, which reduces the exposure to zero-day exploits. In addition to that, we have cybersecurity appliances. Enterprises can deploy cybersecurity appliances that actively block malicious traffic in real time, which provides an additional defense layer against zero-day threats. We also have behavioral analysis. It's a solution that uses behavioral analysis to detect unusual network or system activity, which can quickly identify potential zero-day exploits, stopping attackers before they escalate. Application vulnerability assessment is it's a regular assessment that identify and analyze the application level risks such as SQL injection and cross-site scripting to help defend against exploitation. And most importantly, patch management. Establishing a robust patch management process keeps the systems up to date with the latest security patches, reducing exposure to unknown vulnerabilities. Also, we have penetration testing, which simulates a real-world attack. A real-world attack through penetration testing reveals gaps in security, strengthens the incident response, and highlights privilege escalation paths, all of which help reduce the impact of potential zero-day vulnerabilities. Together, these strategies create a comprehensive identify and protect framework essential for defending against zero-day threats and ensuring a resilient cybersecurity posture. Detecting zero-day attacks require proactive measures, including threat intelligence, threat hunting, and threat modeling. Threat intelligence gathers data from various sources and processes it into actionable insights. And then the threat hunting involves systematically seeking out threats with a hypothesis-driven approach, often aided by AI and machine learning to identify and categorize potential threats. Then we have threat modeling, which provides a framework to understand attackers, their tactics and behaviors using a common language to exchange threat information. Together, these methods help organizations detect and prepare for zero-day threats before they can be exploited, significantly enhancing their cybersecurity resilience. If our preventive measures fail, we rely on several strategies to detect zero-day exploits. SIEM solutions for continuous monitoring and alerting based on enriched event data, technical reviews that go beyond vulnerability assessment to check for compromises and system health, network monitoring of access and activity across LAN, WAN, and network segments, integration of SIEM with threat intelligence, VAPT, and other tools to strengthen detection. Deep packet inspection to fully analyze the packet data, capturing potential zero-day threats that are missed by other methods. And of course, user and entity behavior analytics to spot anomalies and behavioral changes that indicate threats. Together, these measures create a comprehensive detection system to identify zero-day threats and enable rapid response. Let's go over the key phases of our response process for handling incidents. First, we have capture and assign response team. We initiate the response through help desk, SOC, NOC, or any other channel based on the type of report or disclosure. Second, we have the incident analysis. We analyze the incident using known error databases and past cases to understand the recurrence or related issues. Third, we have containment. To limit the damage, we isolate. To limit the damage, we isolate and control the affected areas, minimizing the blast radius. 4, we have eradication. This phase involves neutralizing the threat and restoring any compromised assets. 5, we have recovery. We work to restore operations, coordinating with the crisis management, the business continuity, and disaster recovery team. At this phase, we also have the notifications, the lessons learned, and post-incident reviews. These phases ensure a structured and effective response, helping us manage incidents while minimizing impact. In our recovery process, we focus on several key steps: the restoration of operations to bring systems back online, the communication throughout recovery to keep stakeholders informed, the impact assessment to understand the full effect of the incident, the verification of backups to ensure data integrity, the documentation of all recovery actions for future reference, as well as the continual improvement to strengthen our recovery approach over time. These steps help ensure a thorough and efficient recovery, minimizing future risks. Now we will briefly present real case stories from zero-day attacks and lessons learned. Petya and NotPetya. The Petya and NotPetya malware attacks of 2017 were highly destructive, originating from a certain source and targeting sectors like nuclear facilities, power utilities, and financial institutions, with damages estimated in the billions. And the key lessons learned from this incident: the first, we have patch management. The attack exploited the Eternal Blue vulnerability, which had been patched by Microsoft months later. This underscores the need of timely patching. Second lesson learned is the segmentation and backup. Network segmentation is crucial to prevent malware spreading, and off-network backups are essential for recovery in case of data wiping. Third lesson learned is the supply chain vulnerabilities. This case revealed risks in the software supply chain as attackers compromised a widely used software update mechanism, impacting thousands of systems globally. These lessons highlight the importance of proactive security practices to prevent widespread impact. In July, another story is in July 2021, the Cassia PSA zero-day attack became one of the largest ransomware incidents, affecting thousands of businesses worldwide. The attackers exploited a zero-day vulnerabilities in Cassia's software to deploy ransomware, demanding a 70 million ransom. The key lessons learned are as follows. The first lesson is the dedication tool. Cassia provided a tool to help organizations identify if they were compromised, emphasizing the value of a quick detection. Second lesson learned is the vendor risk management. This attack highlighted the need for advanced security practices among third-party vendors, including regular security audits. And number 3, we have the incident response. Companies with strong backup and incident response plans were able to recover more quickly. These lessons underline the importance of vendor oversight, rapid detection, and robust response strategies in managing zero-day risks. We have highlighted them in this presentation. Now, moving to the WinRAR story, we had a zero-day vulnerability in WinRAR, which enabled attackers to spread malicious files through trading forums, where unsuspecting traders downloaded the infected archive, which allowed the attackers to access brokerage accounts, resulting in stolen funds from at least 130 victims. The key lessons learned here: first, we have patching and updates. The vulnerability was resolved in WinRAR version 6.23 but many users hadn't updated, and the regular software updates are essential to guard against zero-day exploits, similarly to the previous attack that I just mentioned. Second, we have user awareness, educating users, especially those handling financial data, about the risks of downloading files from untrusted sources is crucial. These lessons highlight the importance of timely updates and user education and preventing similar attacks. In early 2024, two zero-day vulnerabilities in Ivanti's Pulse Connect secure remote access gateways were actively exploited. Attackers used those flows to bypass authentication, deploy web shells, and capture credentials, particularly targeting the healthcare and financial sectors. The key lessons learned of this case were as follows. The first one is immediate response and mitigation. Ivanti provided emergency recovery steps, highlighting the need for quick responses plans in such scenarios. And second, threat monitoring. The continuous monitoring of critical systems can help detect unusual activity early, which reduces the potential damage. These lessons underscore the importance of rapid response and active monitoring and mitigating zero-day threats. To wrap up, here are the key takeaways from today's presentation on zero-day attacks. First, zero-day threats. Zero-day attacks are particularly dangerous because they emerge without patches, affecting individuals, organizations, sectors, and even global regions. Second, we have the multidisciplinary defenses. Effective protection requires a combination of a prevention, detection, response, and recovery strategies to manage these complex threats. Also, utilizing threat intelligence enhances incident response by providing critical context and insights. The readiness of incident response, a well-prepared response plan, is essential to minimize the damage and ensure business continuity. And most importantly, the training of employees. The security awareness and the training of employees to recognize phishing and other tactics helps reduce the risk of zero-day exploits. Learning from real cases, we went over a few examples, and analyzing case studies of zero-day incidents raised the awareness and help us to identify vulnerabilities. By implementing these practices, the organizations can better prepare and protect themselves against the evolving threat of zero-day attacks. Now that concludes my part of the workshop. Please take a moment to complete the post-workshop assessment by scanning the QR code. You will have a limited time, and answers will be revealed once the timer ends. The assessment link is also available in the Q&A box. If you have an issue with the questions, please try refreshing the page. One minute and 20 minutes are left. One minute and 20 seconds. Thank you for completing the post-workshop assessment. Now I'll leave you with Nofat Dosari. She will introduce the drill platform as well as the pre-drill exercise. Thank you for listening. Give me a minute for Nof.
Test, test, test. Hi, everyone. I'm Nofat Dosari, a member of the National Cyber Security Drill Team, and I'll gladly be introducing you to the drill exercise platform and the pre-drill exercises. This shall also give you further insight on how you will be working with it to perform both the National Cyber Drill itself and the pre-drill exercise. To begin with, an overview of the exercise platform. It is crucial to highlight that the key aspect of the National Cyber Drill, and of course, as many of you are aware too, similarly in last year's drill, for those who have participated, of course, is the platform, which supports the execution of both the technical and management exercises. Now, the key purpose of using a cyber drills platform is, in a nutshell, the following two aspects. One is that the platform provides capabilities to simulate realistic cyber threats that can be used to stress test the cyber capabilities of entities. Two is that the platform provides a range of preparatory labs that are used in the pre-drill exercises to enhance the readiness of participants. Having this said, you will receive a pack of user credentials for accessing the platform within this week, so you could start your preparation and get ready for the cyber drill. Moving on to the next slide, here shall be emphasized how data handling is organized for the cyber drill. Now, in order to preserve the anonymity of both entities and individual participants, we have provisioned for each entity a set of anonymized user credentials. These will be distributed within this week, post the workshop today, and will allow you to access the drill platform at any time. Now, each entity shall receive a set of 10 accounts. 5 accounts will be for the technical users, allowing you to have up to 5 simultaneous accesses to the platform to execute the technical drill. And the other 5 accounts will be for the management users, 4 of which will have an observer access, which shall permit them to engage in the pre-drill exercise. An additional user account will be provided as a participant that will both engage in the pre-drill exercise and be the active respondent during the management drill. Now, it is essential to bring to your attention in this slide that the main objective of the pre-drill exercise is to prepare all participants thoroughly for the cyber drill and familiarize everyone with the platform we will be using. The pre-drill exercise has been configured in the platform as a set of objectives that will be automatically assigned to both technical and management users. The technical objective is a career path made up of 3 collections of labs. These lab collections have been prepared to introduce participants to the technological scope of the drill, familiarizing users with both the SIEMs and EDR technologies used. Now, please make sure to make use of the labs to prepare teams for the cyber drill and use the desired platforms consistently as you tackle the pre-drill activities. And lastly, to highlight the management objective, it is also a career path made up of 2 collections of labs. These lab collections have been prepared to introduce participants to the topics addressed in the scope of the management drill, such as business continuity and crisis management. It is also important to share with everyone the cyber drill rules of engagement, as seen on the slide now. As your teams tackle the National Cyber Drill, consider the following key rules of engagement to ensure that you demonstrate the best possible performance. Please ensure that your team is always very well aligned and aware of how to address the challenges presented. Here, it is also important to consider different user roles and how they will divide and conquer on the challenges presented. Also, to please ensure that information sharing is a constant throughout the exercise to foster optimal communication and improve your performance throughout the drill. Finally, essential also to highlight is to kindly appoint a leader to make decisions on behalf of the team, whether for the technical or the management scope. Next, we do have the guidelines for participation in the drill. They are as follows. For the management scenario, we have 5 accounts assigned, and one of them will act as the main responder. Now, only this selected person will be able to submit answers on behalf of your entity. Please to make sure to provide clear and detailed inputs when making your choices, as once a decision is made, it cannot be changed. Now, moving on to the technical team, you will have 5 shared accounts, allowing everyone to access the platform and collaborate together. It is essential that you maintain strong communication throughout the session. Each of the accounts will have its own workstation, so you can conduct investigations, share findings with your team as well. Please to remember that anyone in the team could submit the answers. Please be strategic and coordinate well to avoid effort duplication, unnecessary wrong answers, and impact to recorded performance. Now, in order to effectively plan for the next steps as we exit this workshop, please to consider the points highlighted in the presentation. As seen on the slide, the first point, the platform is accessible in the custom URL. This detail also will be provided in shared materials, and the same link will be used for the pre-drill activities and for the cyber drill itself. The pre-drill will be valid until the 17th of November 2024, and this also shall be the first day of the drill. Please make sure you test your access properly and engage as much as possible in the pre-drill activities. To also please consider the allocation of time for the pre-drill that is presented on the screen as seen. For the technical and management objectives are both estimated to take approximately 2 hours to complete. Now this brings us to the end of the presentation. Kindly to use the webinar chat for a Q&A session, as well as our panelists and SMEs will respond to your questions, as well as we would like to thank you again once more. For any details, kindly to use the shown email and to kindly also share your feedback. Thank you very much once again. Hi everyone, just to let you know that you'll have 10 minutes for the Q&A session. Please to put your questions in the chat box. Thank you. We shall also consolidate the common asked questions and come back to share them with everyone here.
We still have around 6 minutes for the Q&As, and afterwards, I'm gonna go through the most common questions, and then I would like you to scan the survey and provide your feedback, please. Thank you. So around 6 minutes or 5 minutes to go. Mashallah, the questions are so many. We're still receiving questions, so please be patient. We will have 2 more minutes. Then I'll be going through the frequently asked questions. Thank you. Thank you for your questions. The support team behind me is currently actively addressing your questions. However, we have collected some questions that are frequently asked, and I would like to go through them. So the first question is about the workshop material. You will be receiving the presentation, the frequently asked questions, as well as the recording of this session. Regarding your drill platform credentials, you will be receiving them by end of today. And we had also some inquiries and clarification requests about the drill platform. We are still using Immersive Lab. We're using the same platform. So if you have participated in the last year, you are already familiar with it. And if you have not participated in last year and would like to get to be familiar with the platform, you still have to do the pre-drill exercise. This is also applicable on the ones that are already familiar with the platform. We also had some questions on connecting remotely to participate in the drill. Unfortunately, that is not allowed. We also had a question about the devices. We will be providing you with the laptops and monitors, but feel free to bring your own device. You can connect to the platform using the browser. Regarding the roles of the participants, management and technical, we have elaborated that in the registration link, and you will find them again in the material of today's workshop once you receive it. If you have any inquiries or more clarifications on the rules, you can reach us on by email, drill@ncsa.gov.qa. Now, regarding the number of users, we're gonna be providing 5 technical accounts that can collaborate and work together at the same time. For the management exercise, only one user, all users would have access, up to 5 users will have access. However, only one user will have the control, the user input, and navigating through the scenario. This concludes the frequently asked questions. And as I mentioned, my support team is still active behind me. You have any questions, we're gonna stay connected. We will answer all your questions. Now, I would like you please to scan the barcode and provide your feedback. Your feedback is valuable to us. Please take a moment and provide your feedback, and we look forward to seeing you at the drill event. Inshallah, by end of today, you will receive the workshop material, your entity code, your drill platform credentials, and the drill day that is specific to your entity. Once again, thank you so much, and please take a moment to fill the survey.